Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another installment of Flyera Gonna Flyera. We got a good one for you this episode. It is training camp season. It is officially upon us now. We are just, as of this day of recording, 19 days away from Flyers regular season hockey. And the preseason opener is tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to give some initial thoughts on training camp, what we think, like, and dislike. We're going to continue our point projection series that we had over episodes 48 and 49. 49 and 50. We're going to be doing the defenseman today. And then finally, we're going to have a little fun segment. What will it take for the Philadelphia Flyers to make the playoffs this year? Sit back, relax, and get ready because another installment of Flyer Gonna Flyer starts right now. Oh, man, it feels like it has been a while, even though we just did the live stream, 12 days ago, I want to say?
About a week and a half, I think.
Week and a half? Yeah, I don't know why. It just feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these. Maybe it was because the live stream was on a Tuesday, and it kind of just threw things off a little bit. But
remind everybody, go check that out.
Everyone.
Jim Jackson.
You don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Our last Flyer Gonna Flyer, our 51st installment. We had Philadelphia Flyers play-by-play guy Jim Jackson on the show. Take a look. It is on our live section of our YouTube page. You can find it there. He was awesome. He stayed with us for almost an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Had a lot to talk about, JJ. So if you got a second, check that episode out. You'll have a blast watching it. But that was then. This is now. We're on episode 52, and we got a good one for you today. Jamey Bascal will be joining us a little bit later. He's doing his own thing right now, but he will be here. He already informed me off the air. But for now, we got me and Mr. Eric Martino. Eric, how you doing today, brother?
Oh man, I'm pumped, Alex. I'm telling you, like this week, brought this new energy to me. It's like training camp started, so it gets the blood flowing, and I am ready to go and talk some Flyers hockey. Let's do this.
We are so damn close. The days are getting closer. We're now in the teens. And the next time we do one of these episodes, we'll either be 4 or 5 days away from opening night. So it's getting close. You can smell the fucking game, the friggin' rink rats hopping out of the ice, the sweat, just that taste of hockey. It's back. It's so fucking back.
That doesn't sound really appealing, though.
I don't give a damn if it sounds appealing. It's the natural musk that hockey gives.
You got to make it sound better. Come on.
It's that smell of the ice.
The smell of the ice. You know what? Call me a gross person. I don't give a fuck. I like the natural musk that hockey gives. It's almost just like, it feels like it's hockey season. It just gives that feel off.
He hasn't been in a locker room after a game.
Oh, I have. I know how much it smells. It's atrocious. I'm talking about on the ice. The natural musk you feel in a hockey game, not in a locker room.
All right, I'll give you that.
Say, there we go. But any dang way, let's move right into this. We got a good one for you today. We're going to hop right into training camp. It's started now. What's it been, about 3 days? I think we're on day 4 of training camp, if I remember correctly.
The 17th. I believe it started for everybody on the 17th.
Technically, I think today was the 3rd day of on ice.
Yeah.
Because the first day was like media day.
Yeah. And physicals and stuff like that. The last time, apparently, they're doing physicals.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. They got to have all the things for like the commercials, for all the players, like when they have the social media accounts posting goals or just any type of advertisement. They're going to do all that shit, spend a whole day knocking out the park, then we get all the fun stuff out. So,
yeah.
Eric, let me start with you. Training camp has officially begun. What stood out to you so far?
Well, I'm excited. Just everything that I'm hearing, especially when it comes to like chemistry that's starting to be built by a few players. And like Talk said in one of his pressers there, where he's like, and when he quoted Scotty Bowman and how like he used to do things like finding pairs, finding pairs that work, that you could add like a third in and just rotate that third in and out. And like, look, it seems like look, the Kuts Michkov pair from last year that seemed to work somehow. It seems to be back together again and still has that chemistry together. And then you have like Jamey Drysdale, sorry, not Drysdale, but Trevor Zegras, sorry, with TK together. And like, I thought TK would have just ended up with Kuts and then like Zegras with Mishkov, but like apparently Zegras and TK are really showing some chemistry together. And man, I'm loving that, because if we could roll like those two as like your top two like line pairs and then just have a third there, like that's just awesome. And yeah, no, but I'm really excited about what I'm seeing from Gulbenkian in particular. As you all know, I've been on this channel. I've said it before. I think he's making this team. I think Gulbenkian at the very least is going to be your 4 left wing. So I'm really loving the chemistry that he's showing with Mishkov, and yeah, like just these line combinations that are looking really good, really solid.
I'm going to piggyback off you a little bit when it comes to some of that. Nikita Gulbenkian seems like he is making some flash so far. It seems like him and Michkov have been playing together a little bit. That's something that I've definitely noticed. So that's cool to see. And, it's cool because they both kind of have that broken English. And one thing to point out, Michkov's English sounds like it's a little bit better. Still has a translator. Little off the ice thing to throw out there, but his English has shown levels of improvement, which is good. I agree with you on the Zegras Konechny. This is the best player Trevor Zegras has ever played with. There's no one in Anaheim that was as good as Travis Konechny that he played with. Not Troy Terry, not Cutter Gauthier last year. We can go down the list. No one
Ryan
has
Strome,
matched
whatever.
current day Travis Konechny of what they have right now. So that's going to be good to see. I want to see also if they keep together the Brink, Forster, and Kate's line together. I haven't read too. It looks like they've kind of moved things around a little bit there. I've seen Alex Bump has been getting first line minutes with Zegras and Konechny too. And this organization is stupid high on him. He continues to flash. I've watched some highlights with him. He's smart. He makes good passes. Hell of a shot. He just seems like more and more. I mean, we haven't played any games yet, so we got to see when the actual games play. But based off what we're seeing, this kid looks like he's going to make this opening night roster. He looks like he fits like a glove. Having that championship experience out in Western Michigan. I said Western Kentucky, wrong sport. Western Michigan has probably did him wonders too. Gives him, that bolster of confidence that he was able to get that far and bring it over to his NHL game a little bit. I'm also excited to see how Jamey Drysdale does. I haven't read too much on him yet, but now that he's got his best friend back, as I mentioned in prior shows, that's going to be something to watch for as well. Just having a comfortable environment. Him, York, and Zegras are like the three amigos, so that'll be cool to see. But just as a collective whole, and I'm glad Luchenko's injury wasn't that serious. We got a little scare on that first day when he wasn't able to get out there. Looks like he's starting to get on the ice, play more to his style a little bit. So that's good to see. And Tyson Forster looks like he's going to be on contact jerseys again as of next week. So everything in the injury front outside of Rasmus Ristolainen looks good as well. So that's big. This team needs to stay healthy. And you know me, I was big on Tyson Forster having a big breakout year, and it looks like he is ahead of schedule in his health, should be ready for opening night. That looks good to see. And Tocchet, and I'll give you one too, Brendan. He looks like he's standing out a little bit. So I will say, the Flyers training camp so far has shown us a few little sparks here and there. I'm excited to see what next presents us and leading into tomorrow's first exhibition game against the Islanders. But it looks like a lot of the kids are really making some good first impressions.
Oh yeah, and like you know what, like I think I misunderstood who you said, but I'm pretty sure you said Gendron. So or Gendron. I
Gendron.
think I said Gendron.
You don't need. I botch names. It's a new guy on
No,
the team, so
but
give me a different name.
I had
it's
no
funny.
idea. I had no idea who he said. I thought he said
No, but
Brendan.
everybody pronounces it that way,
Yeah.
Gendron, or that's how but it's actually pronounced Gendron. But
Gendron. Yeah, Gendron. But okay, at least I'm not alone in that one.
no, everybody pronounces it wrong, so it's not an issue. But no, but I really, honestly, yeah, no, he's having a surprisingly really good camp. Like he had in both rookie games, like I didn't watch, sorry, I didn't watch them. I was at a music festival all last
Yeah.
weekend, so wasn't able to watch. But no, he looked apparently like in the rookie games, he looked good, and apparently he's continuing this in camp. And they have a line together in camp of Gendron and Luchenko and Tippett. Dude, that is pure speed. That line together is just nothing but burners that can score. And like, look, I don't expect him to make the team. Like Gendron, I don't expect him to make the team. But Luchenko and Tippett together, I think as a duo just works, in my opinion. From everything I've read about like people that have been covering camp, that they actually look good together. So no, that's another great, like, even for Luchenko, if he can make this team, honestly, even at least get the first 10 games, or even if you keep him around for 20 to 30 games, let's say, the like a good chunk of the season, then maybe possibly send him to the World Juniors. And then look, if you still feel like he's not up to snuff, then you could always send him back to juniors after that, you know? So like, look, it doesn't only have to be the 10 games. So like, no, that's it would really help out our depth. Like honestly, like our set, like, 'cause now you have Zegras, we have Zegras. Now you add Luchenko. If he can make the team, like it could really, make the solidify that center position and make them a team to actually fear, like, because like I put a tweet out there this week, but like if you have Tippett and Luchenko together on a line, defensemen are gonna have to play them honest, because you can't take a chance on these guys, because they will burn you. They will burn you with their speed, and they'll get into that zone. And Luchenko's a very feisty player. Like everything I've seen from him, he can get into that corner and he'll get that puck. So no, I'm like, there's a lot of positives coming out of this camp, honestly. And as you were saying with Drysdale, I was trying to look for the tweet as you were talking. I couldn't find it, but it was just something that was put out like earlier today, and basically, I think Tocchet talking about York and Drysdale and how they're really impressing him. So that's, great signs, because if York and Drysdale this season can take that next step and at least just improve, especially York, because he had a down season last year. But like Drysdale, if he can improve on last year, and York, if he could get back to what he was 2 seasons ago and even improve on that, like these are real positive signs that really bode well for the future.
And I'm glad you mentioned Cam York. That's another interesting thing to talk about right now, because it sounds like they finally have some interest in putting him on the power play, which is something me and you have raved about for a while. It sounds like, Tocchet talked about this a little bit, that they want to give him some time on that power play unit. I think it'll be the second one versus the first. It looks like Drysdale is going to be the first power play guy, but I'm glad to see that. He didn't get any power play time last year, and that's ridiculous. That was his specialty when he played for the U.S. National Development Team, if he was a power play quarterback. So they need to let him get back to his roots. And Cam York playing on the power play will do nothing but bring some positivity to his game. So I'm glad. And another thing that really caught my eye was Sean Couturier, when he was having his interview. This is a little snub about how bad things may have been with him and Tortorella. He stated this out, that him and Tocchet have had more conversations in 3 months than him and Torts did in 2 years. And that's a little telling to where Coots really was with Tortorella, especially last season. Like I said, things went off the rail in the Tortorella coaching regime when Sean Couturier goes from team captain to healthy scratch in a handful of weeks. It made no sense. The pieces didn't connect. And I really feel to this day that sent this locker room into a flux. And it bled into next season, and they had a crap year last year, as kind of expected with the talent pool that they have. But you were hoping at least something a little bit better than that when they had the year that they did the year prior. But anyway, I think we could see a really rejuvenated Sean Couturier this year, not just from a play on the ice, but from a mental perspective. And I found this funny too with Trevor Zegras too asking Sean Couturier for face-off assistance because he sees an NHL 26 that's his freaking specialty. Like that just shows the kid in the guy. At least he's honest. But hopefully that could help. Hopefully that does help Zegras in the dot. That has been Trevor Zegras' biggest Achilles heel is how poor he is in the face-off circle. So having a guy like Couturier potentially mentoring him, who's arguably a top 3 face-off guy in the league, depending on who you ask, he's a top 3 face-off guy in hockey. Fantastic in the dot. And now you have guys like him and Dvorak who are face-off specialists. This could really put a bolster to Trevor Zegras' face-off game. But adding on to training camp stuff, some things that worry me. Juleson looks terrible. That's one guy. I really hope he stays as a 7th defenseman. I really hope it doesn't end up being to the point that they have to play him. But yeah, that is a little concerning. I hope Tippett can find his game. This isn't more of a negative, but I hope that with Tippett playing with some actual speedy players, if a guy like Luchenko, hypothetically, does make the roster, having guys with his level of speed on his line could really help bolster his play a little bit. So that's something definitely to watch too. But overall, as a collective whole, I've liked more than what I haven't seen from the training camp scene as a whole. So, but this is going to be interesting over the next few days. I'm not going to be able to watch most of it, the preseason game tomorrow, but I'll probably have it on DVR recording. So I'm going to probably watch that tomorrow night after the fact when I get home, because I'm actually going to the Patriots game tomorrow, besides the point. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the next week has ahead of us.
Yeah, and just a quick, just to hit on the power play. Today apparently they were practicing the power play in training camp, and it looks like Drysdale was on PP1, and PP2 had Sanheim on it, but they were rotating York, so they were rotating Sanheim and York in and out as they were practicing.
Sanheim's got the most experience, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but honestly, I like Sanheim as a player. Like I think he's a great he's a really good defenseman. But we've seen him enough on the power play where it's look, maybe they're now again it's the Flyers power play from the past 2-3 years. So it could have just been they weren't doing anything right, and who knows with the new system, possibly it plays more to Sanheim's strength. I don't know. But
can I say something?
Sure.
Tocchet, he's the first-year coach. He's got to see for himself what he's got. I think that's what you're looking at there with Sanheim. He's got to see for himself what he's got with Sanheim and how Sanheim plays for him. And that's what I think is going on there.
Yeah. I know, 100%. And like Alex said, Sanheim's the veteran, so you're going to give him that first look. He's going to get the opportunity first, But, honestly, I think York's skill set, and look, he did it with the U.S. team. I just don't know why it wouldn't translate into the NHL. I don't know why it just hasn't worked for him so far. Again, it could be possibly because the Flyers have had the worst power play in the league for 2 out of the 3 years, and last year was 30th. So that could be a reason. But but we'll see. Look, it's still early in camp. There's still a bunch of things to figure out. So hopefully, if by game 1 they'll have this figured out, and because look, it's definitely gonna help York. If he can get some power play time, just get a few more points, so yeah, we'll see where it goes from here.
Agreed. All right. So, any lasting thoughts on training camp before we move on to our point projection game?
Honestly, just I like honestly my final thought on this is just I really like what I hear. Like I'm not hearing too many negatives coming out of anybody. So like other than like you said, like Jules, I just read that like just before recording that apparently it looks like he's been struggling so far. But other than that, and it's like the best sign for me is like a lot of the kids that were like, oh, are they gonna make the team or could they make the team, whatever, and it's just positive, 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 and it's like, you know what, that's great to hear.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a plus in that perspective for sure. And yeah, my final thought in training camp, as you mentioned, it's interesting to see the positivity. I'm really looking forward to see if they end up keeping Zegers and Konechny together. I don't think all three of Bump, Grebenkin, and Luchenko make the team.
No.
I think this is going to be an odd man out because I can't see them run three rookies in their top 12, especially two of them being there for
Mm,
sure. So two of them being
yeah.
in the top nine, I mean. So I have a feeling that one of those three will be the odd man out. I really hope the AHL exemption thing happens so you can move Luchenko
Mm,
down to Lehigh Valley. And I think that would be perfect for him this year. Again, I don't want to rush him. And with the log jam you have with Couturier, Zegras, Cates, Dvorak, do you move?
mhm.
You're just going to move someone over the wing. You could do that,
Yeah,
but then that makes it a little more complicated for the wingers that you already do have. So
yeah. But like I've previously said on like on this pod, and I put it out there online also. I honestly believe that I think again, unless injury to some another winger or whatever, I honestly think Bump is going to be the odd man out, and I think Bump is going to start in the AHL. And the only reason is because, well, one, I think Luchenko has to play center, and if he plays center, that's going to bump one of the centers to wing. So like Cates or Dvorak, guarantee is getting bumped to wing. Um, so you have that, and at the same time, I think even the Flyers themselves would want Alex Bump to play absolutely be playing in the top nine. So I can see someone like, let's say, Gerbankin. Why I think Gerbankin makes a team over Bump is because I feel like Gerbankin's style, even though like he could play in the top nine, he has enough offense, or at least to be like a middle sixer.
it's
I
more in the
think
bottom six. Yeah.
his game though translates also to a fourth line role, and I think like if you can have him like Gerbankin play with Hathaway for like a full season, because I see a lot of similarities in both of them. Because Hathaway too has very sneaky good hands. He could put up some numbers if he really
Yeah.
wanted. If he could. So I think having Gerbankin and Hathaway together for a whole season on the same line would do great things for that kid.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Bump is going to be the one that, like, unless there's an injury, he's the one that's going to miss out.
It'll be interesting to watch for sure. Me personally, I I think Bump's just going to impress too much where they say we can't send this kid to the AHL. That's just my perspective. I could see Luchenko being the odd man out personally. I think
Mm,
they end up as much as I really don't want them to send him to the OHL. They may have to because of stupid AHL rule. I hope we get an announcement with that. Then I think it's a lock. But it's going to be interesting to see. And if Luchenko impresses enough, maybe it is Grebenkin too. I don't know. I'm just highest on Alex Pump with a three, but we'll see. That's what the fun of training camp and preseason presents to us, is seeing the battles that we see for roster spots. So with that being said, let's move on to our next segment, over under in points. So we're going to be concentrating on the primary four guys, and then we're going to have two defensemen that we're going to make assumptions are on the team. They're not more or less locks, but you have your four locks that are definite: Cam York, Jamie Drysdale, Nick Sealer, and uh, Travis Sanheim. We're not going to count Ristolainen because we don't know what his injury is going to portray as. I've seen reports say he could miss 1 to 2 months. I've seen reports saying more. So I'm just going to say he's not part of this just because of his injury. But with that being said, let us begin with the oldest player in this decor, Travis Sanheim. Sanheim is going into his age 29 season. It is kind of crazy how long he has been here now. Coming off of a season last year, all 82 games played, 8 goals, 22 assists, 30 points. Over-under of Travis Sanheim, I'll say 31.5. Rick, are you taking part again?
Yeah, I might.
You might. We're about to start. It's yes or no.
I'm thinking. Yeah, okay, I'll take part.
There you go. All right, just because you were so unprepared, I'll throw you on blast to start. Rick,
Fair enough.
Travis Sanheim, over under 31.5 points.
You say me? I thought I was last.
No, I'm putting you on blast. You going first.
Oh, blast! You said. I get it. Okay. I think your team's improved a little bit. He had 30 points last season. I think their offense, like up front, is going to be better, so that's going to help the defense get a couple more points. I'm going to say over, but not a ton, but over, just over. Say like 34 points.
34, fair number. Eric.
I'm going over. Look, the Sanheim at 30 points last year was a bit of a regression from his 44 the year before. And honestly, I think there's more offensive power on this team with the addition of Zegras and possibly Luchenko or Bump or whatever, possibly making the team with like the Foresters, whatever, just improving. So I think just in general, the Flyers will score a little more. And if he will get some power play time and hopefully, fingers crossed, the power play is actually somewhat respectable, I think I could see Sanheim back in the 40s, probably same thing like the other time, like low to mid 40s, like 2 seasons ago. So yeah, so over, and let's say 45. Let's say he gets back to about 45.
I'm going to say over as well. I'm going to be closer to Rick's number. I'm going to say 36 points. The only reason why I say that is because I don't think his power play time will be as staple as it was in prior years. Because in that 44-point year, he was seeing power play one time. A lot of them, too.
But I'll just sorry, quick. Just to say though, that year he only had 5 power play points. I just want to say. But sorry?
5 power play points or goals?
Points.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. So one of the things I will say, though, I still don't think he will get too much power play time. I think Drysdale's a lock into that power play 1 slot. And I think York will see more power play 2 time than Sanheim, unless if they go in a rut and try to mix things up a little bit. I'm going to say Sanheim. I'll put him at 9 goals, 27 assists, 36 points. All right. Next player on the list, Mr. Cam York. Cam York had a down year as a collective whole last year. 66 games played. He battled injury earlier in the year. 4 goals, 13 assists, 17 points. -8. Definitely wasn't his best year. His worst year, actually, since the 21-22 season. He put up more points in that dreadful 22-23 season when he played 12 less games. So, Cam York, we'll put his over-under. I'm going to bump it up a bit from the last year's total. I'm going to say we'll put it at 29.5 because I don't think he's going to be quite as low as what we saw in prior years. So do 29.5 over-under points, Cam York. Eric, we'll start with you this time.
I'm going over. Honestly, I think this year he's out to prove a lot of people wrong. I think he's out to show what he can actually do in this league. If you look at the previous 2 seasons before last, he was averaging roughly around 0.36 points per game. So about a point every 3 games. But you saw the progression in his game. Like you saw it was coming, you know? And then last year, like I personally think injuries really like set him back. I think he rushed himself. Like he came back way too early. He probably wasn't 100% ready. Then there was the whole Torts thing, and then obviously refusing to put this kid on the power play. Like our power play has been garbage for again like 3-4 years now, and you refuse to put this kid on the power play. Like, what are we doing here? Like honestly, like he's gonna make it worse? Like seriously?
Yeah, no shit.
Like, so you know what? No, I'm going over. I think he's gonna reach the 40 point. I think this year, if he gets enough power play time, improved, healthy 5-on-5 play. Yeah, I think he could do it. I think he can get to that 40 points. Probably. So yeah, I would say maybe like if I had to give you an exact number, let's go with 42. Fuck it. Let's just say 42. I think that's a nice solid
42.
number.
Gotcha. I'm going to go next on this one. I have him over as well. Not as over as you have him, but I'll put him at 37 points. I do think the power play is going to improve dramatically. I mean, any type of improvement is dramatic improvement over the last fucking 4 years in the shitstorm that we've had taken place here. But I do think we'll see some significant level of improvement. I think they're going to be close to the middle of the pack in the power play this year. I really do. I think that's going to be one of my bold takes of the year is they end up pushing somewhere in the high to mid-teens, somewhere around there. I'm going to put them at 10 goals, 27 assists, 37 points.
Okay.
Mr. Rick, the floor is yours.
Alrighty. I think Torts held him back a bit last year. It's obvious because didn't they have that shouting match? There was something there, right? So that was the guy, right? And now York is what, 24, if I'm correct? Like Caulfield, same
so.
age as
If Torts
Caulfield.
was brought back this year, Cam York would not be here anymore.
Right. No, that I agree with that. So I think, I mean, it's a big bump to go to 29.5, 29 and a half, but you know, I'm going to go along with you guys and say over. I don't know if it's going to be 37 or 40. I don't know if he'll hit 40, but somewhere in the 30s, I'm going to say, and over because I do think he's been held back. Got a lot of talent, and you guys are going to get better on power play, and I believe so. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Can't get any worse. Really can't get any worse.
And I know this because the Habs had that crappy power play and it's gotten better and it's getting better. So yeah, it can't get any worse. Got to get a little better. New coach, new power play coach, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's going to benefit from that. So yeah.
All right. Next guy on the list, Nick Seeler. Pretty much the definition of a number 4, number 5 defenseman, probably number 5 defenseman realistically. Nick Seeler has found a home here in Philly after taking an entire year off between Chicago and Minnesota and his tenure there. Huh? Someone say something? Oh,
nope,
sorry. My apologies. Nick Seeler last year, 77 games played, 3 goals, 17 assists, 20 points. Not much of an offensive threat here. He's more of a shot blocking physical player. Definitely, probably arguably the best shot blocker in hockey. Nick Seeler, put him in, I'll say 19.5 points. We'll put him at over under. I'll start this one. I'm going under for this. I do think with Andre coming up, he'll get more of an offensive role. You have some guys just in general coming up. You could see Grimes push for some extra time. The log jam in general, I think he's going to get more time on the third pair versus the second. We'll see. I could see him and Drysdale be more of a third pair this year, but he doesn't. I think last year was his career high in points. Before that, it was only 14. But at the end of the day, I don't think he'll quite have as many assists. I'll put him at 18 points, 2 goals, 16 assists. Rick.
Me next. I don't know enough about the guy and all that, but being a defensive guy, not every defenseman can have a lot of points. His previous high was 14. That's a career high. What was it, 17 you said?
14.
His career high was 14. Now it's 20.
Well, now, I mean, that last season he got 20. It was 20?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how old is he?
Nick Seeler is 30, I believe.
Okay, so
32,
here's the guy
32.
Has his career high that year. That's an outlier. So I don't think he's going to get that. So I'm going to go under, probably something like 15 points, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think last season was was a bit like shocking. Actually, when I was doing research for the episode, I'm like, wait, hold on, Nick Sealer had 20 points last year.
I know,
So I
right?
was like, what?
I think
Did you-
half of them just came off of blocked shots and just someone picking the puck up and going the other way.
Possibly. And I was actually even more surprised when I was looking. I'm like, him and Jamie Drysdale actually tied for second amongst defensemen scoring on the Flyers last year. They both had 20 points. They were tied for second.
Yikes.
Like, that's how bad of a season the Flyers had last year. Like, when you're top,
Yikes.
oh man. But okay, so no, I'm going under. I think he's probably gonna be closer to like his average from the past couple seasons before that. So anywhere between 14, 15 points, most probably. The only thing is like if he does, because I expect we'll talk about that next, but like I expect Jamie Drysdale to take a step. So maybe the only way I see him possibly going over is that like at 5-on-5, if Jamie's just collecting a few more points, that like he'll get an extra point just by accident, maybe like that
By being there.
assist. He sends it to Jamie. Jamie brings it up the ice, makes a pass to Mishkov, and Mishkov scores. Just that like, oh, okay, he got a point. He wasn't really involved in the play, but he got a point.
Secondary assist.
Yeah, so maybe, but no, I'm gonna say under probably around 14 points.
Rick.
I did, didn't I?
Oh wait,
yeah,
did you?
Did. Yep.
Oh, he did. I'm sorry.
I'll give a second. You want a second opinion like a doctor?
No, I had a brain fart. Leave me alone. All right. Next, we will be doing Jamie Drysdale. Now, Eric kind of stole the thunder on his point production. Last year, 70 games played, 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points. I think Jamie has a little bit more of an elevated role. He had a much better second half of the season last year. Right around January, we saw him kick into gear. And speaking of Jamie's, let's bring him in because we have been joined by our third gracious co-host, Mr. Jamey Baskow. Jamie,
hey, what's good?
Perfect timing. How you doing?
Yeah, right. You guys are probably killing it, and aloha mahalo. It's been it's been a crazy but good day.
Saturdays, man. Saturdays when you're a family man, they're tough.
Yeah, and you're talking about Jamie's. Yeah, Jamie Drysdale is having a really good camp. I'm telling you, and like I talked about him before camp began. I was like, you know what? I just got that feeling about him this year. You know that we had that preview. I predicted 55 points from him this year. He just looks motivated. The one thing is he's confident. And I think like when you're a confident player, you could do things. And I think that's a good testament to Rick Tocchet. I think he's making people feel really good about, out there because he praised Cam York today, praised Jamie Drysdale today. And, the younger guys, he praised all the youth.
Oh, for sure. He's been very consistent about that and just giving these guys their cup of tea when it's deserved, for sure.
Yeah. He's really making these crazy plays with breakouts, and that's what I really like, especially in the scrimmage today. He looked like a confident, mobile defenseman that we were used to seeing, and I think a lot of it's because of his health. He doesn't have that nagging, abdominal injury anymore. He finally got it rectified last year. Halfway through the season, he put forth a really good second half. And you were hoping that he would build off that this year, and it looks like he had, at least for the first 3 days of training camp.
I'm going to make a prediction. You guys are going to get a coach's bump from Tocchet. His positivity, plus his experience, plus he's an ex-NHLer. He's going to give that team a bump at the beginning of the season. I mean,
they're talking about trading Nikita Grebekin straight up for Ivan Demidov.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? We can't wait to get Grebenkin. Couldn't wait. Come on.
I wouldn't make that trade. I wouldn't make it.
I wouldn't either. You know what? With the chemistry that he's built with Mafi Michkov, I never even thought of putting them two together. I'm going to be honest with you. I really thought it'd be Michkov on the left, Zegers down the middle, and TK on the right. So That's what I had at least penciled
The
in
no
before.
defense line.
Yeah, I really did. And you know what? But when he said he was taking Grebekin under his wing, last week, and that came out, with Grebekin, when Grebekin said, Mafi and him are like, I was like, oh, okay, he's taking him under his wing, and that means to me. And when you're seeing him front and center by the Flyers on media day, I was like, okay, they expect this kid to make the club.
So with you joining in now, we were doing our over-under points game. We got 3 of them already down. We had 3 to go. So since you're joining in, why don't I ask you the 3 that we have already done? Let's start with Travis Sanheim for you, Mr. Bascal. We have him at 31.5 points, over or under.
I'm telling you, put 2 bills on the over.
2 bills on the over. Jamie's feeling.
Yeah, absolutely, no question. Are you kidding me? That kid, listen, Sanheim is going to finish probably with like 60 points.
Oh my God! Woo,
he's really going to take over. I'm serious about this. Like his skating alone, and Tocchet's system is like, if they play, especially if they do a dump and chase system, I expect to probably be more towards 70. If they're doing more towards dump and chase, listen, that kid, he's going to have free reins to go into the zone. And his speed alone, carrying the puck, like those type of defenders don't grow on trees with his speed and as good of a skating defenseman he is. And I think Todd Reardon is like picking up on that. And I agree with Tocchet with what he was saying in Reardon and getting the most out of Cam York. That means coming in the zone with and taking the punches and pinching when necessary. I think they're going to have free reins to do whatever they want back there.
So what is your official point total for Travis Sanheim this year?
58.
58? Okay. Mark it down. Jamie shatters our picks.
Shatters it, man.
Well, I said 40. I wasn't that off.
You were the
No, that's still shattering. That's still a shattering.
Rick had 34. I think I had 36.
Dude, this kid, man. See, the thing is about Sanheim, I don't think we've really seen how good he is yet. I think there's another level. And I think if anybody could get it out, it's Todd Reardon.
Valid. Okay. All right. I respect that. All right. So, next person. We'll do with a lower player a little bit. Nick Seeler, we put the over-under at 18.5 points.
Under.
You're all the mutual agreement.
No, because you know what? Scoring isn't his game. It's the gritty style as a part of Nick Seeler's game. It's not a testament because, just because the defenseman gets points doesn't mean he's a good defenseman. You know what I mean? And I think that you need those stay-at-home defenders like Nick Seeler. You know what I mean? He'll chip in from time to time, but you're not going to rely on a Nick Seeler to win you a game. But when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, 1-goal game, he'll solidify that game. He'll close gaps, like he does well. He'll seal gaps. And he becomes more of a shot-blocking defenseman.
You'll be giving up a lot of goals if you don't have some guys like that on your.
Yeah. He just played. That's his style. He's not a finesse defenseman. Never has been. He's the gritty guy that just gets bruised game after game.
And you got to have at least one of those guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
At least.
Those are the type of defensemen you need come playoff time, especially when push comes to shove and the physicality takes up tenfold.
Yeah.
You need those.
Yeah.
All right. Next guy we had on the list was Cameron York. We have him, Jamie, at 29.5 points, over or under.
4 bills on the over.
Oh!
4 bills.
Jamie
4
said,
bills. Listen,
listen.
Cam York is pissed off. You're seeing him at camp this year. I mean, honestly, I feel great that he's getting a lot of praise from Rick Tocchet because he deserves it. He's one that Flyers fans have a distaste for because how everything went down last year. And he was always that guy saying, oh, he's the one who got torch fired. And yes, they did have an not a physical altercation, but they had a verbal altercation of some sort. And he's owned up to that. And he never wants to he's really felt bad about that. And but in the same token, he knows he's been, given something here in Philadelphia. They re-signed him, banking on him, and stuff. And I think that He's going to finish with 45 points this year.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
He's
I think that's about
Cool.
what we had. It was something close to that.
I think we just lost Jamey.
Give him a
going to have a
second.
big season.
There he is. He's back.
There it is.
Look for
All
Cam
right.
York to have a big season.
I
Yeah.
like it. All right. So now let's move on. Now we're all caught up. Everyone's got their over-under predictions in. Jamey Drysdale. So as I was reading when Jamey came in, Jamey Drysdale last year, just to reconfirm everything, 70 games played, 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points. Really came on in the second half of the season last year. Jamey, you hit that one hammer on the nail last year. You called that. You said around January you thought he was going to pick it up, and that's about the time he did. So, Jamey Drysdale.
Can I go first?
I'm going to pay you a little spicy on this one. We'll put the over-under on him. Let's say 37.5 points.
Can I go
Jamey,
first?
the floor is yours.
Ow.
55 points.
Oh,
55 points.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
He said
sticking with
it
it. I'm
earlier.
sorry. I'm sticking with it.
He
Listen,
said it earlier.
These
55
kids,
points.
these kids, there's one thing that Rick Tocchet is nailing down. He wants his defensemen to be more active. He wants his defensemen to get involved in the game more. He wants them to be a little more explosive offensively. That he's honed in on that. That's what he said. He's been saying that in his press conferences. He said that in his introductory press conference, is that he thinks he could get more from his defensemen. And to me, when you're talking about that, that means chipping in a point or two a game. And I think that, they're going to, like I said before, I think they're going to be given free reins. Okay, jump when it's the right time, not just pinch to pinch, but make sure that somebody's covering behind. And I think they're going over the structure in camp because they really haven't until today. Today was the first day that they've done power play. You know what I mean? But I think that that's what they're honing in on at training camp.
Valid.
Can I go next?
If it's a consistent point to make, especially since he did indeed make that in his introductory presser. So definitely something to watch for sure with how much more active the defensemen are going to be on this team this year.
Can I go next?
Go right ahead, Rick. You go next.
All right, because I want to get this out. So, like Jamey said last season with Drysdale, that it was going to take him a while till he came out and was good, and he was right. And the second half of the season he was good. Am I correct?
Mhm.
Points up, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the Jamey Drysdale you're going to see this year. That's because I remember when he was drafted, that was a guy I was looking at and was hoping Montreal might grab. He's got a lot of potential. I think he's ready for that with the new coach bump. Tocchet really wanting the defense to kick in and contribute. The thing is, 37.5 gives me a little. So I'm going to say over, but I'm not going to be as over as Jamey because Jamey's a real high roller today.
Snake eyes.
But I'm going to go over, say around 40. Somewhere in that, it's a little bit over.
Good. Okay. Give you a hug
Mr.
later, Rick.
Martino, the floor is yours.
Well, actually, I think I agree with Jamey. I'm sorry. I think he can get like 50. Like 50 was the number I came in with. That's what awesome. I think it's very possible. Again, improved power play. That's going to be the big thing this year.
Oh, yeah.
And look, Jamey Drysdale had 20 points last year. Only 7 were on the power play. So I'm pretty sure in a full year, if he's going to be on the first power play and it's actually going to work for a change, that he can easily get 15 to 20 points on the power play.
Oh, yeah. 20 I would think.
So you add that in with maybe like another another 30 points 5-on-5 if he's used properly, like if he's used let's say as a second pair, like on the second pair. Because again, it all depends 5-on-5 how Tocchet wants to structure his defense. Because if he's going to separate Cam York and Sanheim and have them playing on 2 different pairs, I don't see Jamey really playing with one of them. Maybe Sanheim, maybe, but I don't know. So I think 50 is in reach for him. I think he has the potential. He's shown flashes, and again, like adding Zegras on the power play will help. So, like looking at what they were rolling today, like as the first unit, like I could see that, like Alex said, I could see that team being mid-range this season or at least low teens.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't think 50 points would be out of reach for Jamey.
53.
Nice.
Oh,
Dude, this is what I'm talking about.
honestly,
Man,
I
Martino
was
hat.
listen. You guys stole my thunder because I'm high on Jamey Drysdale this year as well.
You're all drinking the Kool-Aid, man. You're all
Hey,
drinking the
you know what,
Kool-Aid.
man?
Listen,
That's that red and blue Kool-Aid, baby.
this is the defenseman I am most excited about this year is Jamey Drysdale. I've liked Drysdale since his days in Anaheim, and when they acquired him originally in that Karaguti trade, I was elated. Now, one of the things John Tortorella stated last year that I think was 100% spot on is they needed to revamp his game a little bit. And they did.
Yeah.
They revamped his game. They retaught him how to play defensively, and they let him rebuild his confidence and rebuild his brand. And this is one extra thing to add to this that I believe Jamey has stated before, but I'm going to reinforce it a little bit. He's finally healthy for an offseason.
Oh yeah.
This guy's always hurt, it seems like, during the offseason. He has had a full offseason to not have to worry about surgery, to not have to worry about rehab, to not have to worry about getting himself built back up to speed. He's already there. Now he has the opportunity to work on his craft. He's got one of his closest friends here. You got the new coach bump. Hopefully you have a power play that's worth a fucking damn this year. I mean, it can't be any worse in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The stars are aligning for Jamey Drysdale. I think he is going to have a very productive year. Here is my bold breakout prediction for him. 16 goals, 37 assists. I think he puts up 8 power play goals this year. We are going to witness the breakout of Jamey Drysdale this year. I seriously believe he becomes the Flyers' most improved player this year. I do.
Nice.
I am excited for it. All right.
Nice. I like that.
I am excited, and I am ready for it. With that being said, we have 2 defensemen left. Now, the last 2 spots on this team, me and Eric mentioned this earlier in the pod, just to bring you up to speed, James, we're kind of making assumptions in the last 2 because those 2 spots haven't really been solidified, and we're not going to do Rasmus Ristolainen because we're not 100% sure if and when he's going to play. So we're going to do the assumption of Emil Andre and Igor Zamula.
Nice.
So let's start with Zamula. Zamula was kind of the whipping boy of the team last year. It's pretty apparent. 63 games played, 3 goals, 12 assists, 15 points. I will say the final month of the year when they had the coaching change, I do think he played better, but he's kind of been looked at by the fan base as the new Andrew McDonald. Is it fully warranted? Probably not, but he's still he does make a lot of defensive flops. I will put Zamula's over-under total points of net this year at 13.5. Jamey, the floor is yours.
Under. Yep, I think he finishes with 10.
10.
Yeah,
Nice
maybe
flat.
like 5 goals, 5 assists or something. I just think that he won't get a lot of playing time. He'll get some, but I don't foresee him getting a lot. But I will say he's integral to Mafi Michkov, so they're not just going to throw him to the dust. You know, and Mafi is still adapting to North America. I do not believe that the Flyers move on from Igor for that reason alone.
Valid. Eric, how about you?
I'm gonna go over.
Nice.
Not much over, but like I'm gonna take the over because look, you look at it this way, like he had 21 points the season, like 2 seasons ago in 66 games. Now it did drop a bit last year. He had 15 and 63, but like he's not devoid of talent. Like I find like we're like me included. Sometimes I'm a bit too harsh on the kid. Like you have to realize he's a defenseman. He's only 24. Like he's still young. Defensemen take a little longer. And I was actually surprised looking through the stats that actually when he was paired last year with Ristolainen, they were actually one of the best pairs on the Flyers. Like by advanced stats.
That is true. That is true.
And like you see, he does have some offensive upside, but like I'm expecting him to play mostly third pair, and I don't see him getting power play time this year like he did last. just because of Jamey Drysdale, because of Cam York, because of Sanheim. So, but I think he could still at least put up. I'm gonna go like maybe getting to like what he was 2 years ago. I think he could scratch 20 points this season.
Nice.
I am going to go over, but as slightly over as it gets. I'm putting him at 14. I put the over under at 13 and a half for him. I'm putting him at 14. I think he's going to be in and out of the lineup. I don't think he's going to be consistently on the third pair. I think you're going to see him be rotated as a 6-7 defenseman quite a bit.
Okay.
Whether that be him, whether Hells Grimes makes the lineup, Melandre, Juleson, Gilbert. There's a lot of names that you could talk about who could be inserted into that third pair. It's kind of a rotating carousel right now. I'm going to put him 6 goals, 8 assists. Actually, giving him 6 goals might be a bit excessive. 5 goals, 9 assists. 5 goals, 9 assists. I had to take the goals down a bit.
Okay.
Rick, how about you?
Okay, Zamula is hard for me. I just remember you guys complaining about him so much last year.
Rick, who's Montreal's whipping boy?
It changes all the time.
Who is it now? You have to guess.
I think maybe Patrick Laine.
All right, he's not bad. It's bad. Okay, Patrick Laine is better than Zamula.
Yeah,
I was talking
but it
about
changes.
a bad player.
Dvorak has been one, but whatever. But I just remember you guys being like complaining about him, so I don't know a lot about him. I think he's not going to get. He's going to be, like you say, in and out of the lineup. He's going to be there because of the tie to Michkov, so that's for sure. He's going to get some opportunities to play. I'm going to go under. I don't know how much, but I'm just going to go. I feel like Jamie's right, and it's an under.
All right. Last player we're going to do is Emil Andre. He came out of the gate strong last year, and not on the stat sheet, but just his play. And then when he got hurt, he came back. Oh, actually, he got hurt. He got sent down. He came back. And then it just did not click at all in his second tenure here. It was kind of like the reverse of Jamey Drysdale in a way.
Yeah.
42 games played last year, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 total points. You know what? Let's put his over under at 8.5 points. Eric, I'll start with you this time.
I find 8.5 a little low, so I'm gonna go with over. Like, I think he can accidentally. He has enough talent where he can accidentally get 15 points.
He could accidentally slip onto 11 points.
Yeah, for me, it's a little tough with Andre because you see the talent. The talent is definitely there.
Yeah.
Like he could even be he could be on the power play also. Like he's another weapon that we could have.
Yeah.
That I agree.
So
yes.
So it all depends on how long we think he's gonna be on the Flyers this season. Because you have to figure if he's not gonna be at least close to an everyday player, he might get sent down then at that point, which is be better for his development.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that even if he's up and down this season, I think he'll accidentally stumble upon 15 points. So I'm gonna go over with that. But I just want to put this like little asterisk. If he makes the team and he's an everyday guy, I could see him probably closer to 25.
Yeah.
Only because, again, I don't think he'll get the power play time just yet because of who's in front of him. So I because on a third pair, like let's say they do keep York and Sanheim together, and that's your first pair, and then Drysdale and Sealer are your second. And then so if you go full season, let's say with like Andre and Grons or Andre and Risto when he ends up coming back, like him playing a full season, even just 5-on-5, I could see him maybe scratching 25 points.
I dig it. All right. Jamie, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I could see a little more than 8.5. I'll go with the over as well. Not much over, maybe 11 or 12. Only because I agree with Eric. Eric hit the nail on the head there. You don't know how long he's going to stay in the lineup. Furthermore, you don't know. But being sent down to Lehigh could be very rational in terms of, okay, I'm worried about Emil Andre. If Tocchet really does do the dump and chase system, how much of a beating will that take on, Emil Andre, like being board battling and constantly being hit from the back, and stuff like that, trying, to obtain, pucks. And yes, he is a nasty kid. He'll fight back. You know what I mean? He's definitely plays bigger than what he is, than his size. But how much of a toll that's going to take on him to constantly be hit, poked with a stick, in the back? Not necessarily back. It's not a penalty by any means. It's just, you're constantly being rubbed and stuff. And I don't know how much of a toll. I can honestly see him being sent back for, maybe Helge Grans or Ethan Sampson, who's like knocking on the door, and stuff like that. Both are, and I maybe an Adam Jennings, or something, because if they are playing the dump and chase system, they might want a bigger, stockier defenseman back there to try to win some battles, or something of that nature. But I could see, I'm high on Emil Andre, but I could understand, like, if he struggles, I don't know if he's going to be given the leash. I'm not 100% confident with Rick Tocchet and his leash, because honestly, I don't know Rick Tocchet as a Flyers head coach yet. How much of a leash is he going to give to an undersized defenseman? I don't know. And that's the big question mark for me.
Valid. Rick, how about you?
Okay, so I think you guys are giving your defense a little too many points. They can't, like Eric. They can't, like, third pair guys. I don't know if they're going to get 25 points. I think he seems like the Flyers defenseman, and I think every team has one that just doesn't get the right opportunity or be used right to get his feet kind of going in the NHL. So, what was it, 8.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.5 is really low, though, so I don't know. I'm kind of struggling if he's going to be just under or just over. So I'm gonna say just over, but like at 9-10 points, because I just don't think everybody can get big points if they're not getting regular ice time.
Fair.
Well, to Eric's credit there, Rick, though, if the power play struggles, I can see them putting Emil Andre, giving him a shot.
Okay.
I don't think Tocchet knows about that PP. He knows how bad it's been. So if that's the case, I could see him squeaking to around 20 to 25 points.
Okay, well, I'll say, listen, if he gets the opportunity to play regularly, where you can get that, you keep that regular flow. I think that could be a big thing here, where a guy doesn't get that regular flow all the time and it's up and down, in and out. If he gets that, well, yeah, I mean, I would hope he could hit 15 to 20 points, right? I just don't think he's going to get that regular flow. That's all.
Fair.
I get it.
I'm going to put him at over, not blasting over, but I'll say about 13 points. I'll give him 3 goals and 10 assists. I don't think he'll play every day for sure. I think he'll probably get about somewhere in the – if he makes a team, which is the assumption of this argument, I think he'll get probably high 50, low 60 games. I'll say about, like I said, about 13 points. I'll give him 3 goals, 10 assists. All right.
Nice.
So let's move on to our final topic of the day. So the ultimate goal of this rebuild, obviously, is his team to make the playoffs again and compete for Stanley Cups and eventually win one. Now, we're realistic about this. This team isn't even sniffing cup contention this year. However, there are paths to the playoffs. Now, how likely it is remains to be seen. I'm not going to go percentages or anything with this exact argument. I'm going to have some fun with this. The Philadelphia Flyers make the playoffs if blank happens. Jamey, I will start with you. The Philadelphia Flyers make the playoffs if what happens?
The goaltending tandem. If the goaltending tandem succeeds. excels. I believe that I hate to say this, and I think it's year after year. Year after year with me, it comes back to goal.
Yep. Did we lose him?
I don't know. It happened before.
With Dan Vladar, you guys were saying how high you guys were on Dan Vladar, and you're like, he's really not a bad backup goaltender. I agree with you. I'm not worried about Dan Vladar in terms of backup goaltending. I'm worried about Samuel Erson's health. Can Samuel Erson stay healthy? He wants to play. He said yesterday he wants to be that goaltender that can be relied upon for 65 games. Well, I'm not ready to say yes to that today because he's yet to prove it in 2 stints with Philadelphia the past 2 years that he could take the reins and not get tired. And then last year he was hurt, and yes, Torts did kill him at the end of that, first, 2 years ago, he was just constantly playing and playing and playing because of Carter Hart, and his injury, and stuff. I get it and I understand it. And then last year, he just couldn't stay healthy for the first half of the season. And by the second half, he started to get healthy again and he started to play better and then maybe got tired, you know what I mean, and stuff. So I'm not ready to say yes to commit to him, to say yes, he can play a full season and play anywhere from 50 to 55 games. I need to see it first. So I say they miss because of they may miss because of goaltending, I'll say.
So Jamey's number one topic, in other words, is goaltending. It needs to succeed for them to have any shot. And honestly, that's probably the number one reason I think all of us would agree with.
Can I go? Can I go? Can I give an opinion?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so when we talked before the show, I initially said when hell freezes over. But I'll tell you this.
What a director, right?
I know you all hate me now, but
I'm just kidding.
Every season you look at it and you figure these teams, whatever. But every season there's a team that falls out of that and stuff like that. So there are things that can break right for the Flyers, and part of it is their own play. But I think for them to make the playoffs, some bad things are going to happen to some of the teams above them, obviously, right? Yeah. And that could happen. Injuries could knock a team out of that. So that's to me, that's how they make the playoffs. I think they might just miss. So they'll be close. And if something like that happens, they can get in there. And I agree with Jamey about goaltending.
You need a hug, baby.
Eric, how about you?
Well, one, I agree with Jamey 100%. Like, yeah, the goaltending has to show up this year.
Oh, yeah.
If we can get at the very least league minimum, please. Like, just there, we're talking about like almost 20 points better than we were last year.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Look, at the end of the day, I was looking at it. Okay, yeah, we missed the playoffs, and we missed it by 15 points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's 7 wins and a loss in overtime. How many games last season can we say like our goaltending just didn't show up and we could have won that, like at least come close to getting a point or at least won that game? So just the goaltending itself, if it gives us league average, could get us at least, I would say, at least close to 3 to 4 more wins at the very minimum. But like my one big thing also, which I think is definitely going to help us to reach the playoffs, is special teams, but clearly power play above all. Like if we could just have give me 17th place in the league, just give it to me. Because at this point, like I haven't seen the teens and God knows I haven't seen the 20s in God knows how long. I keep on seeing a 3 in front of the Flyers. Like, come on, like just if the power play can at least give us something this year, and I think it will. Look, with the addition of Zegras, Tippett took a step back last year. Hopefully, if he can find his game again and you contribute on the power play as well, and like we were saying before with Drysdale can really grab it by the horns and be like, okay, this is my year to show everybody, So if our power play can get at least up to 18-17, And look, our penalty kill took a bit of a step back last year, where we were, I think, top 5 2 years ago. Last year, I think we were in the teens and low or mid teens. So if we could get our penalty kill a little higher too, so just that could like get us another 3, maybe 4 wins, 5 wins, maybe.
Oh yeah.
So if your goaltending improves, plus your special teams improve, if that can get you like another 7 to 8 wins, that puts us in the playoff conversation. And and I think if those things go right, who knows, man? Maybe we will have a playoff berth next year.
I think it's a combination of everything you all stated. Jamey's absolutely right with the goaltending. The goaltending, listen, they were historically bad last year. When goaltending starts with an 8, you're not making the playoffs. When the second number is a 7, we're talking about something that can't even be described with words about how fucking bad it went last year. Urson couldn't stay healthy, and he was too sporadic. Fedotov would find grooves for a chunk of games and then have back-to-back wet fart games. Kolosov was a headache on and off the ice all year. It was an absolute mess in net. You got a little more stability this year with hopefully Urson and Vladar are your 2 guys all year, and Kolosov is your starting goalie out in Lehigh Valley all year. It looks like him and Bjarnason should be the 1-2 punch there. But Fedotov now in Columbus after that trade. FYI, Fedotov, wish best of luck to him out there. Was a class act from day one in Philly. Nothing but the best for him. But yeah, when you look at everything in the grand scheme of things, it's the goaltending. If you can give me 898 average or some goal save percentage or 900 save percentage, that's a significant improvement of probably 4 or 5 wins by itself. As Eric mentioned, the power play. The power play has to show some level of improvement.
Oh, yeah.
32nd, 32nd, 33 straight years. No one's making shit with that. That's a fucking dog shit sandwich with fucking diarrhea flavoring in the middle. It's awful. Now, they fired the human disaster known as Rocky Thompson. He's gone. You have a new whole coaching scheme as a whole here now. Let's see how things go. This team has enough talent to at least be a top 20 power play. I'm not asking this thing to be top 10. I'm not going to get overboard. But this team should push top 20 in the power play. There is no excuse with the talent that they have, at least now, not to be at least there. And this one goes under the radar a little bit. The PK took a step back last year. It wasn't bad, but it took a step back. You were a top 5 PK in the league last year. You were in the bottom half of the league last year. I'm sorry. Yeah. But top 5 PK in the league 2 years ago, you were like 16, 17 last year. Now,
good point.
It wasn't a major issue, but it was something noticeable that the penalty kill did take a step back. If you could get a little bit of improvement there, get that back into the high teens or maybe sniff in the top 10 again, you could see improvement there. And then as Rick mentioned, durability. I mean, other teams, someone's going to have to fall off. Is New Jersey going to stay durable? Are the Rangers going to figure out their shit? Is Washington going to hit a reality check now that the hunt for Ovi and playing for him has been taken care of now? The only team in the Metro, I think, that is a 100% lock in the playoffs is Carolina. So with that being said, who the hell knows? Teams in front of you could fall off. If 1 or 2 of those teams do, you could push for a playoff spot. Pittsburgh's fucking atrocious. I'm not really worried about them. I think the Isles have accepted the rebuild route, and I personally think they're going to have a tough year because I think the winger core is dog shit. Columbus is a team on the come up, so that's a team to watch for sure. I think they're going in the right direction. But I think the Metro could be on the downward spiral. I think it could be the worst division in hockey this year if enough things go their way. So with that being said, I think it's a combination of everything. But most of all, actually I shouldn't say most of all, but lastly, I need to see these guys to continue to progress. Is Mitchkov going to take another step forward? Are we going to see first half Konechny again? Is Forster going to take another step forward? Is Tippett going to get over his down season last year and become the Tippett we saw 2 and 3 years ago? Is Cam York and Jamey Drysdale going to add some offensive output from the D-core? Is Nick Seeler going to continue to be the durable shot blocking machine we all know and love? Will you get some stability in net? Are you going to have a spark from the new head coaching bond? Adding a stud like Trevor Zegras, is that going to help bolster up the offensive talent that you do have? Christian Dvorak on the PK, is he going to be a new Scott Lawton, Swiss Army knife? Mm-hmm. There is a lot of questions to ask, especially with the forward core. The D core is pretty much more or less the same outside of Ristolainen having a ruptured tricep. He's not going to be ready to start the year. But more or less, your D core is roughly the same. The big question mark is, how is the forward core going to progress? And how are the new pieces going to implement themselves? And are they going to live up to the expectations you have for them? It's going to be a very interesting season. Realistically, if you ask me today, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that yet because we have more episodes leading up to the regular season intro, so I don't want to give anything away. But I do think there is a path for this team to make the playoffs. However, more things than not need to go right for that path to be possible. Do I think it's going to happen? If you watch the Pucking Around podcast, I already gave my prediction when I think the Flyers end, but maybe I changed my mind. We'll talk a little bit as upcoming episodes. I don't want to give that away quite yet, but I do think there is a path. We'll see what happens. All righty, gentlemen. With that being said, do you have any other final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Yeah, circling back to your PK. Who's supposed to be your best penalty killer?
I'd say either Dvorak or Seeler. Now.
I would say in my eyes, it's the goaltender. So I think it does come back to like timely goaltending. Now, with that being said, there were those that were slam dunk goals, and the goalie can't come back to make the save. They happened a lot to Kolosov. He got happened a lot to Coley, and then it was starting to happen to Sam Merson. There was a lot of leakiness. So you're right. It's not solely on the goaltender, but if the goaltending, improves, I think that'll help the PK numbers as well.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say also, like, if Luchenko does make the team, that's another option on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
And
it's possible with his speed. Yeah.
If they keep on playing that high pressure, like, up top, and like Luchenko's there with his speed, man. He steals a puck, he's gone. So good luck catching up to that kid. Like he did, like in his very limited time at the World Juniors. Like again, I don't understand why, but anyway, that's how he scored, man. He pressured the man up top. He stole the puck, went off, and scored a shorthanded goal. So you know what? Like maybe like he could be like that Paling replacement. Like if he makes the team, be great. Dvorak would be like the Scott Lawton replacement. Luchenko is the Paling replacement. So who knows?
That'd be something. Just saying. A little last shout out, but my final thought: Zavargin looked like a stud out in Russia the other night. If anyone noticed that,
I didn't watch. I didn't see any of it, but I heard he was. Yeah.
I think they got that goalie for the future, man. I hope I'm not pre-coming a little bit, but this kid looks good. They got something in him. I'm getting excited more and more I watch him. But
my final thought. With Dvorak, you're getting a good penalty killer, so he's going to definitely help your PK.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Good defensive guy, good in the dot.
First unit guy.
He's no Tocchet system. I like him.
Yeah. Listen, there's a reason why I said he could be the Scott Lawton replacement. That's praise.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up for our 52nd installment of Flyer Gonna Flyer. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back. Boys, are we going back to every week after this week? Y'all ready to do that?
Yeah.
I think we're ready. So we'll be back next week. You heard it here, folks. Flyer Gonna Flyer returns to our every week basis starting this week. So next week we will be back for another episode. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hockey season's right around the corner. sit back and relax. We got more Flyer on the way. It's our 3rd season. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care. As always, let's go.
Take care. Cut down day Monday. Cut down day Monday.
Cut down day Monday.